In today's video, I want to share my concerns about the upcoming Fusion Champion. Now, I've seen it in my community tab, I've seen it in comments, I've seen it in my Discord, on my DMs. A lot of you guys tend to think that this champion will be the new Brocky. This champion will enable all of us to do an Infinity Comp for Hydra clan boss with Corpulent Cadaver. And I'm here to, unfortunately, kill your dreams because this is not going to be the case. I want to make sure that you guys are not making the mistake of going for this fusion for this particular reason, because it's not going to be the case. I repeat that, just to make sure it's gonna go through everyone's ears. If we're quickly gonna have a look at Brocky, this was a past fusion as well, and he is very unique. He was very unique from the start, mainly because his shield cannot be removed, his passive reflects damage, and then he increases the value of shield buffs on all allies by 30% of the damage inflicted. That's nasty. Imagine him dealing 1 million damage on Hydra heads. He does that on that dead heads. He increases the value of the shield by 30% of that, which is nuts, okay? He is able to increase the shield quite a bit. Then, of course, we had Amic Trunkheart, who lasted in for a couple of days on the test server, then he got killed. This bad boy, he was increasing the value of the shield based on the total HP, the total amount of the actual shield rather than damage dealt. So he was able to ramp up a shield 100 times faster than Brocky, okay? I think more than 100 times, 1,000 times faster. Basically, the way this skill was working before they added the cap of 10,000 HP, if you had a shield of 10,000, you were going to increase that by 25%. Adding 2,500 on top of it, 12,500. Then you are going to increase the value of that by another 25% from that value, and so goes on. And this allowed you to ramp up a shield extremely fast. But this was only on a single target. Yes, together with Corpulent Cadaver, this was absolutely game-breaking for clan boss. You beat the world record in clan boss in 3 minutes with this team, like, I don't know, billions of damage. Corpulent Cadaver was hitting for 100 billion with every single freaking hit. Was just nuts, you know, that was too busted. So what they've done, they added a 10,000 HP cap on the shield. So right now, let's just say, for example, you have a 100k HP shield, okay? You won't increase the value of that shield by 25%. Instead will be 10,000, because that's the maximum, so 10%. Then that gets added up to the 100k, so you're gonna have 110k HP. Again, it will only get increased by 9%, so again 10,000 on it as an idea. So the bigger the shield, you're getting diminishing returns basically. So they completely kill this skill for Infinity Comp teams. If you pair him with Brocky, yes, you can put a bigger shield on your Corpulent Cadaver, but it's not as efficient necessarily to do it. It's much harder to run him and Brocky in the same team, and usually you're getting pretty much the same results that you would get without using Amic Trunkheart in your team, you know? At least from what I've seen compared to my damage and what I've seen from Krakens that try to do this comp, they've dealt the same damage that I dealt, but without me using Amic Trunkheart. So that's how this one works. Now the Panda, guys, works a bit different. Basically, this champion with this skill on a 4-turn cooldown. That's another thing. 4-turn cooldown. Brocky has a 3-turn cooldown. Amic had no cooldown whatsoever because that's the basic skill. After attacking, has a 75% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. If the attack lands as a weak hit, also increases the value of any shield buffs on all allies by 2% for each enemy buff that had its duration decreased by this skill. So let's just make it clear. You're gonna think that I'm gonna make a nice mischief target. He's gonna steal 100 buffs from me. He's gonna spread them to everybody. Then my Panda is gonna increase the value of my shield. You can do that a few times. Now, the one thing you need to understand about the Infinity Comp team, it's tedious. It takes you quite a bit of time to set it up, and you're gonna have to restart it quite a few. So generally, for your mental health, I wouldn't suggest you to attempt one of these. I'm not saying you cannot go in and ramp up 100 million damage with an Infinity Comp like this. You can. The one thing that you need to keep in mind, when you're gonna have a shield, And if you're not constantly increasing the value of that shield fast enough, what's gonna happen? The Hydra will break the shield with the damage that they're dealing on your team. So that's gonna be another problem that you need to keep in mind. You're gonna drop the shield before this champion will be able to really increase it. Now the Mischief target has a cooldown of the skill when he's spreading buffs to his teammates. This skill is on a 4-turn cooldown. Now with my Brocky on a reflex set, I can get him almost to be on a 2-turn cooldown pretty much all the time if I have decent RNG. 4-turn cooldown is just way too long, man, and it's 2% for each enemy buff that had its duration decreased by this skill. You might think that, yes, I'm gonna put 10 buffs on my champion. The Mischief is gonna spread 10 buffs. Those are gonna be 40 buffs. I'm gonna increase the duration of my shield by 80%. Wow! Massive, right? And you're gonna do that a couple of times. You're gonna start one-shotting the heads. They will never take a turn after, okay? They will never take a turn. That's the whole goal. That's the whole point of running an Infinity Comp team. You one-shot the heads to ramp up insane damage. Once you're not gonna have the heads alive, who's gonna increase the value of your shield? Because this champion won't do it, because you won't have any buffs on the enemies to decrease with the skill. So I just wanted to make you guys aware, this is not how an Infinity Comp team works. My Corpulent Cadaver starts to one-shot the heads by turn, I don't know, 50. Sometimes even faster if I have good RNG. If I'm taking in Taras as well, either on Brutal, either on Hard, you know, I'm already gonna ramp up crazy damage early on, and I'm wrecking the Hydra heads instantly. You know, they don't stand a chance. That's how you're getting big damage with the Corpulent Cadaver teams. You're not getting big damage by keeping the Hydra heads alive, allowing them to take turns, which will count on your 1,500 turns, by the way. It's not the way it works, okay? If you let all the Hydra heads to take turns every 5 seconds because you want to spread buffs, you're going to end up with a minimal amount of damage. And on top of it, how I mentioned, if you're not killing the Hydra heads, that means that your damage is lacking, okay? And I'm not trying to sound like an elitist or just try to flex my team or anything. I'm just trying to literally make you aware that that's not the way it will work. It works, the team, you know? Sorry. And if we're quickly going to have a look at the teams that are being used, at least in my clan, W Mecho. There are teams without W Mecho. So what difficulty is this? Nightmare, probably everybody's running W Mecho. Let's go on Brutal, for example. And here, you might find some different ones that don't have W Mechos, maybe, or maybe not. So many W Mechos. There we go, right here. Mr. Potato, Corpulent Cadaver, Brocky, White Dryad Nia, and of course you have different champions that increases the duration of buffs. So this is an interesting team. And how you may see, we have Corpulent Cadaver with 1.3 million damage. Now you won't be getting anywhere close with the Panda in the team. I just want to make you aware, I know it sounds like it's gonna do absolutely crazy things in the Hydra. It won't be the case. The way they're designing these champions recently to hook you on, to make you think that you want it because you need it for that specific thing, and they don't work. So many of these champions that are new, they sound so good on paper, and they're just not doing what they're intended to do. And this Panda is more like a bait to get you hooked on it, to think that you're gonna be able to do it, but you cannot, okay? So I just wanna raise my concerns with you guys. I want to make you all aware before you jump on Thursday to start and doing the fusion, just for that simple fact. And you might say, like, I don't need the champion for anything else, you know? Be aware of that, and you might want to use the champion for other things, but I don't personally think that he's going to be an amazing champion for the Hydra Infinity Comps. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you have any different arguments, please feel free to let them in the comments down below. And if you do have arguments, please be at least familiar with the regular Infinity Comp team and how it works in order to ramp up the damage and stuff. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.